Hello, my friends, and welcome to episode 16 of the Kiss Army Nation podcast. I am your host, Pasquale Vari, and I am happy to have with me my co-host, Claudio Spira. How's it going, Claudio?
I'm doing great, thank you. Hi, everyone. So, today's panel discussion is an interesting topic that Kiss fans have been talking about lately. So, it is related to a new direction that Kiss has taken by releasing authorized live bootlegs.
Yeah, exactly. And that actually begs the question, who says that Kiss fans don't have the power to effect change within the Kiss organization? We've seen it with t-shirt merchandising, we've seen it with conventions, and now we're seeing it with music releases.
Absolutely. And actually, to talk about this, so we are joined by two returning panel members. So Patrick de Montigny, hi Pat.
Hi. Hi.
And Craig Patton. So Craig, how's it going?
Good.
Nice to see you again. So tell us what's happening in your Kiss world. So anything new that you might want to share with us and the audience?
As for myself, nothing really. I'm still getting the Kiss room together. I need to buy some stuff. Like I want to get a shelf to put the vinyls and the magazines.
Okay.
And also I want to buy like this special pole, like on a stand to put all the t-shirts, because displaying t-shirts is way too complicated. But I saw someone on the internet do that, and I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, I'm working on a little bit and things like that. But summertime, you're more outside, so there's less time for that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But after, for this fall, it's going to be my main focus.
Good stuff. Yeah. Craig, anything new?
Not really. I just had Jim over to the house to look at some stuff that he was willing to purchase off me as I'm trying to dwindle down my collection of just the merchandise, and he took a few things off of me as well as Pat did like that too. So I'm looking to get rid of some of the merchandise, but the stuff that's close to heart, the signed stuff, the stuff I got in person and stuff like that. That'll never be.
Okay, no, of course not. So I didn't know that. So if you have a list or something, let me know. I'm interested, to see what you got. Excellent.
Not a problem.
Pask, anything new, my friend?
Nothing new on my end, except that a while back they released the Kiss tribute CD, Buffalo Rock City. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's such an amazing tribute to the band. Amazing stuff. And I've been hoping that they would release it on vinyl, and they finally did. I pre-ordered it a while ago, and it should be coming sometime in August. So I haven't been buying any Kiss stuff lately. There hasn't been many vinyls out there to buy, and I'm just waiting for that. But besides that, I went to Walmart today, found a new Kiss t-shirt. I already posted on my Facebook page.
Okay.
But it's always cool finding something out in the wild. But besides that, nothing new.
Okay, cool. So I got some news to share with you guys. There was something, I don't know if you're aware, but A&E basically organized a Zoom meeting with Gene and some of the South American fans. So South American fans, they had to send questions, and basically they selected the most interesting ones. And the conference call or the meeting was held with Gene and the fans, and they announced that on August 21st and 22nd, they're gonna actually broadcast the A&E documentary in Spanish.
Very
so
cool.
for the region, for Mexico and down. So that was pretty exciting for for fans in Latin America, because they were hoping to either see subtitles or having the audio track in Spanish. So that was pretty cool to see Gene there, answering questions. So pretty humble, he seemed happy to be sharing his time with the fans. So that was cool.
Very cool.
That was really cool.
You were part of that Zoom meeting?
No, I got some friends actually that were part of it, part of the Kissing Time staff, and they were really excited. So it was cool. It was really cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's nice. So again, Pat and Craig, on behalf of Pasc and myself, we just want to welcome to the show again. It's a pleasure to have you once more with us.
Thanks for inviting us.
Good
Appreciate
stuff.
it.
So let's jump into the topic today. So back in June 2021, Kiss released the album Off the Soundboard Tokyo 2021. Okay, as everybody knows. So this is the first official release of a bootleg in the history of the band. So we wanted to discuss with you, the four of us actually, what this is about. So what do you think about this new approach that Kiss has taken to officially release bootlegs as a catalog product? So do you believe there is a trend in the market to release live recordings, Pat?
I think it's specifically designed for fans like us. I don't believe there's a market for the general public, because the general public, I've noticed working in a music store for many years, are not too keen on live albums. I think that series is specifically for people like us. They will purchase, we're going to purchase it. And I think this is the start of something new, because even the bootlegs, as you were saying, only the hardcore bought those. It was not something that not even an average fan, but someone who kind of likes Kiss, but they're not going to spend the extra bucks on that kind of release.
Okay.
So I think it's specifically done for people like us, and I'm glad they're doing it. I hope there's going to be more for sure. I think there's a very small market for it, but for people like us.
Okay. Yeah. Craig, what do you think?
Yeah, I have to agree with Pat that there's a lot of interest in the hardcore market for this kind of a product. I wish they would come out with stuff in the late 70s, early 80s, around that time, where they're playing different tunes. And on this one here, I'm glad to see that they put different tunes like Talk to Me and stuff like that on it.
Okay.
I definitely think that it's not like he says, live albums don't usually sell except for a live one, basically, which started it all, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's a mainstream product. I think it's definitely a niche market. But definitely.
Okay. Pasc, what's your take?
Well, I'm not sure if you mean, the general trend with rock bands, because I don't follow other bands as closely as I do Kiss. So I'm not sure it's a trend. But in terms of Kiss, I think it's been a trend for years in terms of bootlegs being released by Kiss fans.
Yeah.
And notice that pattern with the band. The fans are so passionate that they create, conventions or, Kiss conventions, and then all of a sudden Kiss went into doing their own because they saw how popular it was through the fans, and they obviously upped the stakes. If you look at the recent trend in Kiss bootlegs today, some of the stuff out there is just amazing. Others is total garbage, but a lot of it is amazing, and fans are eating it up. I mean, on eBay, well, with Canadian shipping, it's at least $80 plus per vinyl. And if you're talking double or triple vinyls, it's $150, $200. And some vinyls are unaffordable. Kiss sees that trend and they want to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
And I think this is the beginning of that trend with these official bootleg releases. Now, I'm not going to name any names, but there was a particular website where I ordered my vinyl bootlegs, and now their Kiss catalog has disappeared completely.
Oh, seriously?
And I wonder if that's a coincidence, because it really coincides with the release of this vinyl. And all of a sudden now I'm seeing less on eBay and this particular website devoid of anything Kiss.
Wow.
So I wonder if that's a coincidence.
That's interesting. You know what? I want to touch on one specific point that you mentioned, Pasc, and I think this is great. That's why this episode, it's called, Fans Behind the Soundboard. Because, many times in history, the band follows, a trend that has been created by the fans. Yeah. And this could be one of those circumstances. So in my case, I agree with you guys. I don't think it's a commercial kind of streamline, a trend that it's going to kind of are hungry for this kind of products. But we also need to take into account, like Pearl Jam was doing the same thing. There's many bands who have been releasing, live albums because they don't release new music. So that's a way of, keeping the band alive.
Yeah.
And making money out of that, right? So it's interesting. It's interesting that Kiss has embarked in this business now. So this is a good one, a good question. So now, considering what happened with Alive, that we all know, I like to and blah blah blah. So would you accept overdubbing? Would you accept editing of the audio mixes to enhance the experience and avoid having erratic playing in the final product? Pat?
Yeah, I think so, because I think it's part of live albums. Even pre-Kiss, I remember, now I'm not sure, don't quote me on it, but I remember I'm a huge Rolling Stones fan, the early part of their career. And Bill Wyman had released this book, and he's the historian of the band. And there was an album called "Got Live If You Want It," released in '66.
Okay. And
I remember reading something along the lines of, "We recorded that live in the studio and added crowd noise." So yeah, I accept it. It's part of what it is. I mean, but I think with Kiss, it's not recorded live in the studio, but. There's going to be some, they call it doctoring. It's inevitable, there's not a perfect concert that they go, okay, we're going to release it as is.
So you're okay with that?
Yeah, because it's part of it. It's not only Kiss, it's most live records. They've been touched up. To what extent, I think it varies from one band to another, but it goes with live albums. Okay,
cool. Craig?
Definitely agree with Pat. I think it's a part of the whole live album experience that people want that. They go to the concert, they want to relive that experience, but at the same time they want a quality product. They don't want echoes. They don't want
mistakes,
this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe the hard chords, I definitely think it's a part of the character of the recording. But I think Pat has nailed it right on.
So when you listen to bootlegs, do you enjoy when there's mistakes or something happens? That's it.
The only time I really enjoyed it was that time where Gene was mad at Ace saying "Welcome to the Ace Frehley Band" when he was going off doing a montage of different songs.
Yeah.
Welcome to
that was funny.
Show.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I think I definitely, I think I would do that.
Okay, cool. Paz, what do you think?
No, don't give it the Alive treatment.
What is that?
Yeah, don't give it the Alive treatment. Listen, I love Alive. The album was iconic, and it did what it needed to do in the 70s, and Kiss made it big as a result. Nothing taken away from the album. But remember those instant live CDs that came out after the shows?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, those were amazing. You heard every mistake, every voice crack, every missed note. This is what I saw in concert.
Right.
This is the concert experience. This is what I saw. I loved those CDs, and I bought several of them, even to the shows I wasn't at, to catch those little mistakes here and there, the little minutia here and there. Even though I'm not the kind of Kiss fan that's into the minutia. For me, it's like that was a completely different experience.
That was a plus,
Exactly. And the vinyl is called Off the Soundboard. So it should be literally just off the soundboard. And music off the soundboard sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't think it should be touched. Maybe they tweak it here and there for quality because it's being used on vinyl.
Quality,
exactly. I get that. But besides that, don't touch it.
Yeah.
And especially don't cut the banter, which was the good thing about this vinyl. The banter wasn't cut. The solos weren't cut. Everything was played in its entirety. And it gets long. It's cool watching it in concert, but sometimes listening to it at home, it might get long. But you know what? If you lay on your couch, you close your eyes and really soak in the music and the experience. Oh my God, it feels like you're there. So don't touch it.
Okay, cool, nice. It's yeah, that's interesting, and I have to agree with you, Pasc. I think that if they want to keep the spirit of being like an official bootleg, they have to keep it the way it is, because if not, it becomes like a studio album or something like that, with people in the background. Yeah, so that's true. So now that we talked about Alive and stuff. Let's talk about the package. So have you had the chance to buy the album? Do you believe this type of product is more appreciated when it is in vinyl format? And what do you think about the packaging? Pat?
I'm still waiting for my copy at my local store. I'm trying to, again, encourage, locals, but I've seen it on the internet and I've listened to it anyways.
Yeah.
As far as the packaging, this is Kiss we're talking about. I believe, like Pasc was saying, we see all kinds of vinyls. They're incredible. The packaging, I mean, like you said, it's passionate fans doing it and it's all good. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, they're releasing something like that. Maybe they're testing the waters, and I hope that the next one is going to be a little more I hope the packaging will be a little more Kiss-like. I expect, if they do one from, I'm saying 1983 Creatures, well, I hope there's going to be at least a tank on the cover. And I understand, they can't do as much as they want with covers, but there should be something Kiss-like on there.
And what about vinyl versus CD?
Well, the vinyl is always interesting to have. I considered buying it, but it was like $80 plus. I was like, ooh, that's a bit expensive. I might pass on that. But vinyl is vinyl. It's always interesting. If the packaging would have been more interesting with photos and things like that, I might have gone the extra mile. But just the plain cover like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's cool to have, but at the same time, I want something a little more Kiss-like when I was a kid, especially with vinyl. I remember going into the vinyl stores and, holding Rock and Roll Over in my hands for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
They should repeat that with the new vinyl.
Right.
There's such a market for there anyways, for
Absolutely.
that anyways.
Yeah. Craig?
I have it here. It's I find it's I don't know if I'm right with this, but I find it's like an echo package. It's economically friendly. What's it? Economically friendly. I find it, like Pat was saying, it's not refined. There should be some kind of pictures of the show inside. I'm pretty sure they have pictures of the shows and stuff like that. I just find it although the album is great, I just find it cheap. Like the package is cheap. It's not Kiss-like as they were saying. They always go over the top and put the pictures in, or some kind of a little poster, or whatever the case may be. To me, I understand it's off the soundboard and it's bootleg, and you're not supposed to get the extras. But on the other hand, it is an official Kiss product, right? So I don't know. I'm on the fence.
Yeah, I think what they try to do with this kind of packaging is, it's a bootleg, and you got the stamp, like in the old days, but. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Pasc first, and then I'm gonna give my opinion.
First of all, I agree with Pat. I mean, a Kiss album is over the top. It's colorful. It's really nice to look at. That's an official Kiss album. This is a Kiss bootleg. And you know what's cool about this? It looks like a bootleg. It looks cheap, but it really isn't. It's like the old bootlegs of the 80s or 90s. It was basically the cover, and they had a paper pasted on it. It looked like a cheap bootleg. This is the same kind of idea. When you look at Kiss vinyls compared to this particular release, you can tell which ones are Kiss albums and which one is the bootleg. It stands out from the rest of the albums, and that's why I thought this is really cool packaging. And I think it looks cool on my shelf because it looks different from everything else.
Right.
I bought 3 copies of this, 2 on vinyl and 1 on CD. And I'm opening up the vinyls. The colored vinyl looks really nice. And I enjoy listening to it. And if you ask, what do I prefer, vinyl or CD?
Yeah.
If Mitch LaFon is listening, turn this off now because Mitch Lafon is really big on CD, and I'm going to say, vinyl. Vinyl's the best.
Mhm.
Absolutely. It's the experience of holding that vinyl, looking at the artwork. In this case,
Yeah.
you're not looking at much, but looking at reading the liner notes, listening to the album from beginning to end. You don't skip songs.
Yeah.
Listening to vinyls is a musical experience, unlike listening to CDs. It's a totally different ballgame. I started collecting a lot of other than Kiss vinyls from bands that I knew the hits. I didn't know anything else. And I play the album from beginning to end. It's like, oh my God, this stuff's amazing. Craig, Judas Priest.
Mhm.
You know?
Definitely.
Yeah, Craig and I went to see Judas Priest a few years ago. I hated it because I wanted to hear the hits. I have 4 or 5 of their albums, and such amazing stuff because I sit back and listen to everything.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, so I know absolutely vinyl over CD in this case. I stopped buying CDs entirely, 100% on vinyl.
But then now we find you in this vinyl kind of
Yes.
path that you can't stop buying vinyl, right?
Yep. I'm at about 500 rock vinyls and about 150 Kiss vinyls.
I'm so happy that the vinyl it had a strong comeback. And I agree with you in the case of the Soundboard. I prefer much more the vinyl format than the CD. Of course, CDs sometimes are more convenient, but if you want to listen to kind of the digital version, you can actually have it on a USB stick or whatever, and you can listen in the car or anything. Now, getting back to packaging, I was really expecting more. So to me, it looks cheap. I know that maybe there is intention behind, as you guys you just said, making it look a bootleg itself, but I'm with Pat on this. It's Kiss. Come on. So at least an insert, something. So give me a sleeve, with a picture of the show or something. I don't know. And even I have a hard time with the vinyl itself. We know that kind of splash that it has there. I don't know. There's something that doesn't cut it with me. But again, any Kiss product, it's welcome, in the community. So I'm really looking forward for the next one to come. But price wise, I think it's a bit expensive. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, the vinyl. Oh yeah, I mean $80 plus. Ouch.
I bought it online in US dollars. I think I ended up paying $245, including shipping. So 2 vinyls and a CD.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
Right.
It adds up. It adds up quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes quickly. Yeah. So let me just rewind a bit. We were talking about editing and overdubbing and stuff. Would you compare this release against Alive, Alive 2, and Alive 3? So considering that this is an official Alive album, okay, it's a bootleg, but it's official. So would you compare this album with Alive 1, 2, 3, even 4? Pat?
As far as a product itself, I would say yes. It serves the purpose. It's Kiss Live. As far as the historical side to it, no. I mean, but it's you cannot compete with the first 2 ever, not even Alive 3. But having said that, I think it will have its place, especially if there's a new series coming. They're going to be like a beast of their own, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but as far as it, it's the Kiss experience. You listen to it, and it's the songs pretty much in the order that they played them that night. So yeah, I think as far as a live album, yeah, it holds up. It's it sounds pretty good. I've listened to it again today.
Yeah, it does.
Sounds pretty good. Although I'm not gonna be popular here. It's not my favorite lineup, but it sounds good. I have to admit.
Okay. But if you had to create like a ranking, where does it stand? So would it go like in between Alive 1 and 2, or we put it at the bottom for now?
for now, I would put it at the bottom.
Okay.
Just because it's almost unfair to compare it to Alive and Alive 1. They're
Okay.
too big, in my opinion, as
Okay.
far as historical. So nothing can. But it stands pretty much there with Alive 3. It reminds me of Alive 3 in a bit.
There you go. Okay.
Kind of a same vibe to it.
Okay. Okay. Craig?
Yeah, I don't think it compares to Alive 1 or Alive 2. Definitely the refinement and that sound quality is not the same. And also during that time, I think it was there in their heyday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Saying like Pat was saying, I would rank it after Alive 4, whereas I felt that Alive 3 and 4 were basically fillers for the record company. You know, like a lot of bands, they put out live albums or greatest hit compilations just to fulfill their contract, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Although I do like Alive 3 and Alive 4, but I find they were fillers. This one here, as Pat was saying, is it a series? I would really like to see a series of shows that we didn't see, or some I did, some I didn't. But you know, different shows like Creatures, like he was saying, a Dynasty tour.
Yeah, different eras. Yeah,
not readily available in a pro format. You know.
Mm-hmm. 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 So
Definitely.
is this also related to the lineup, or it has nothing to do with the lineup for you? So
the lineup for me would be I like more stuff with the original 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because this one is pretty special, you know, having Ace and Eric Singer.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't last long, and
No,
you know,
definitely.
yeah. Pask.
I agree with Pat. You can't compare this to the first two, Alive and Alive 2. There's no way. They're just iconic albums. But also, the officially released Alive albums are just that, officially released. This is, although, like you said, Claudio, it's officially released, but it's part of a bootleg series.
Yeah.
So I see it as a different beast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So no, I can't compare it for two reasons. One, Alive 1 and 2 are iconic. And two, I believe it's a completely different type of album, a different beast. It stands on its own. Right. So as it stands, I think it's number one because it's the first thing that came out.
Right, exactly.
And I'm looking forward to more in this series.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the Alive albums, the official releases, to me, the Alive albums is 1 and 2. And like Craig said, the rest of them maybe are fillers, record company obligations and stuff, but they're also a document of the era. Alive 3, the Millennium Concerts, the Symphony, even the Unplugged. Yes, they're live albums, but they're not part of a series of live albums, even though you might call them Alive 4 and Alive 5 and whatnot. Mm-hmm. They're just another series of albums or greatest hits that the record companies release. Yeah. But for this purpose, this is a whole new set of vinyls or CDs that are coming out and are two different beasts. And in my opinion, you can't compare them.
Okay, so we all agree. I'm on the same boat, so I cannot compare with Alive 1 or 2, even 3. I really like Alive 3 also because, as you said, it captured the spirit of that specific era. With Bruce and Eric, that they sounded great at that time, and even the symphony, it stands on its own because it's pretty unique. But yeah, you're right. So this one's it creates a new kind of venue for Kiss in the case of official bootlegs. So yeah, we all agree we cannot compare. So I think we touched on this topic, but do you think that this will be the first of a series of upcoming live releases? So, and I guess the answer is yes. So which one would you like to see next, or which specific lineup? So Pat, what do you think?
I would like them maybe to release something of, I think it's the Daisy of the very
early days.
Yes, because you hear Peter talk to the crowd and things like that. So I think for the since it's so special, I think I would use one of the very, very early shows to say, okay, this is how Kiss started. Not many people may be familiar. I mean, I've heard, online and everywhere else, like, excuse me, where you hear Peter talk to the crowd and you hear them tune the guitars. I mean, you're talking about something, the real early live experience. I want to feel like when I'm one of those people who is in a bar, knows nothing about Kiss, and you see these guys without knowing that these guys are going to be huge,
Yeah.
It's the same feeling as, I think there was a photo of the Beatles. They played that to a dance party. People were dancing, not knowing that this band was going to change the world.
Right.
I want to have the same feeling when I listen to first, very early Kiss, even before the first album came out.
Okay.
And also maybe something off maybe the Dynasty tour and Creatures as well.
Okay.
Those would be my firsts.
Cool. Craig?
Yeah, definitely Creatures, definitely Dynasty era, sorry, and also Unmasked era, because they did play some different stuff. You're All That I Want, stuff like that, and in different European cities, which you get a blip of it online, but it's not very good quality.
Yeah.
I think that's a mysterious era,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And Pasc, what do you think?
Going back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast, of the fans behind the soundboard, I hope Kiss and the Kiss organization are listening to podcasts such as this one, because fans are giving their opinions about what should be released next. And I think Kiss should listen.
Yeah.
For example, I listened to Cameron Duty's podcast recently, and Matt Porter was saying he would love to hear something from the 80s. Now, that's if they actually have soundboard quality stuff back then, but he would love to hear something from the 80s. The FAQ podcast mentioned Creatures, having something from Creatures. We're talking about Dynasty, even Unmasked. All great ideas. Personally, for me, I think I would love to hear Creatures, just because it's a Kiss and makeup era that wasn't really heard from a lot of people, by a lot of people. The show didn't go on for very long. There's not much footage out there. So if they could find something off the soundboard, a full show, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
But at the same time, going back to what Pat was saying, having something from the Daisy, that would be amazing.
Wow.
But that would be amazing, I think, for like us, the hardcore Kiss fans.
Yeah.
But just releasing that alone, I don't think it's going to sell, because a lot of the casual fans won't buy it, and a lot of the hardcores also have heard it as well.
Yeah.
I can see the band coming out with a series of soundboard vinyls, maybe 3 of them, good quality stuff, that then leads into releasing more of the obscure stuff, like the Daisy, and coming out with box sets of the real obscure, really old stuff that we've heard before, but never sounding this good. Yeah. And again, don't give it the Alive treatment, but fix it up in terms of the sound quality.
Yeah,
exactly, because with the technology we have today, the stuff they could do with that would be just amazing. And I think fans would definitely eat that up.
That's a good idea. I like
it
that.
It is. To me, when we were thinking, about this episode, I actually thought about this question, and I knew that, we were going to talk extensively about it. In my case, I have to agree with you, but it's interesting that all of you three, you guys mentioned, Creatures, so meaning Vinny stuff, you would like to get something out of that. So I'm wondering if that's something that, not everybody will kind of dig into. So only for really hardcore fans, diehard fans. So do you think that any other people who gets to know Kiss, or they want to listen to a live album, will get a feeling of what Kiss is by listening to, let's say, Vinny and Eric Carr?
In my opinion, no. Again, it's only geared towards
it's for us,
fanatics like us. I think. Because in this case, it's only the few of us understand what an important part of history it is. So for
Exactly.
the general public, they're going to go, okay, what's this? You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So in my
Yeah.
opinion, I think, no, it's specifically geared towards us again.
Yeah.
But I
don't
would
know.
eat it up.
Yeah, of course we'll eat it up, and I hope, as Paz was saying, I hope that case is gonna listen to the fans. I don't know. I have the feeling that with the technology now, and they must have tons of recordings of, let's say, 2000 and up. I hope that they're not gonna be concentrating only on the last 20 years of the band.
Yeah, hopefully.
In my case, I could pick something from '77. I know that there's a lot of stuff out there that we listen to, but I would love to hear something like, let's say, I don't know, London, Ontario, '77, or Madison Square Garden, or maybe Montreal '83. That would be awesome in my case. And again, I'm 100% with Paz. If this series goes to an extent where they start releasing like box sets of the very early days, like Amityville, or the days, as you said before, even Coventry, I don't know, with some inserts, some stuff, that would be really awesome. I don't know how much that's going to cost, but that would be a dream come true for the fans, I guess.
I just have one concern. I wonder if the releasing now of these bootleg vinyls is going to affect the release of videos, like the upcoming, Kissology.
Yeah.
What happened to the Cobo Hall show? It was supposed to be released on video. It never was. Wouldn't it be cool releasing that on vinyl?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sure, anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anything.
But hopefully releasing that on vinyl won't hinder it from being released on video, or do it simultaneously.
Yeah.
Something like that when they did with Vegas, they had you have the video and you have the album too at the same time, Like I had mentioned that, I think, last episode, where I think that it's going to probably be in a package form if Kissology 4 ever does get released.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be a content in there, but they should release something like the Vegas show, where it's the booklet and there's the the record and the CD and the DVD all included. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. I don't know if you've seen that, but there's an interview with Paul, circulating on YouTube, where he's asked about the release of this album, Tokyo 2021, and he was straightforward. He said, "Yeah, we're testing, so we want to see what the fans have to say, and if that's the case, in my case, I pay a lot of attention to packaging and photos and inserts and blah blah blah. I think maybe they could have done something better in that regard, because it's Kiss. I don't know. We're so used to the flamboyant stuff, the colors and the pictures. I don't know. This is just my opinion. So, you guys think that it was welcomed in the Kiss world? So, do you think that this is going to have a success in the community?
I certainly hope so. So it opens door to the stuff we were talking about earlier. I mean, nothing would make me happier than, holding that in my hands, going, "Oh God, this is an official release," and like you said, with little inserts and things like that. So I hope, yes, it does open doors for cool product. I mean, if they were able to sell those in a unofficial way, let's just say it that way.
Yeah.
People were paying top dollar. I don't see why the same hardcores would buy the official release, maybe for a little less expensive, but maybe well done and a better production, because the problem also with the cool packages out there that were unofficially released is the sound is just
the sound is it's not good.
In this case, I mean, if we get an official product and it sounds great, I mean, this is giving the fans what they want, in my opinion, or the hardcore fans what they want.
It's true. Craig, Pask, anything you would like to add to that?
Craig?
No, I think that we covered most of it, and I said before, like this is a business, right? So if they definitely get the numbers they'd like, I think they will pursue this avenue.
Mhm.
Uh, just for the few hardcores, they'll probably put something out, but it'll be an exclusive offer. It won't be a widespread thing.
Okay. Okay.
Interesting, because what Pat said, in the Paul Stanley interview, that Paul said that he's testing the waters with this release.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I think it failed.
There you go. Well, that's where I was going to
Here's
go to.
why. Here's why. This is geared towards the hardcores. What do the hardcores do? They collect. This has been mass produced. So it's still really easy to get. And the hardcores want something special that we have difficulty getting, that's hard to get. And when we get it, we're like, oh my God, I have it in hand. Look at all those Kiss reissues with the colored vinyls. There's
Yep.
so much hype, so much excitement over those. And they've been released 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
They're being re-released today in a different colored vinyl, and people are losing their minds
Yeah.
because it's limited edition.
Mhm.
Look at Dress to Kill. It was released just before COVID hit, so only 200 copies were released. And if you have that in hand, it's something special.
Yeah.
I have it,
Yeah.
by the way. It's something really special. And I think if Kiss want to test the waters, this should have been in limited release. And release about 2,000 copies. People are going to go crazy. It's instantly going to sell. And then do a second edition. Mass produce it, then see how well that sells.
Okay.
But I think for the next set of vinyls, it should be limited edition, in my opinion.
Okay, good point. Really good point. And guys, there's tons of reviews on the net, stating that that Kiss has raised the bar in terms of quality and sound for this album. Do you agree? So, do you find that the sound is outstanding? Do you find it that it's different, better from the last releases? Are you happy with this release, Pat?
Excuse me. Yes, I am. Basically, yeah, because I think, if it's off the soundboard, I mean, it's going to sound good. And, I think the band that night was really on. They were firing on all cylinders. They sound tight. They sound good. A good set list. As Craig was saying earlier on, they played a Talk to Me, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I think, I'm happy with it. For what it is, yeah, I'm happy with it.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Craig, what about you?
Overall, happy with it. The only thing that I don't like about it is the echo.
Okay.
Touched up the echo on it, where they talk and it's like you get an echo, and that kind of bugs me.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The quality of the sound is okay. It's just that echo that for me is. I know it's a bootleg, and I know it's off the soundboard, but I think they could have.
Okay. Pask?
Well, here's the thing with all the bootlegs I've been buying. Like Pat was saying, they don't sound really good. I got really excited when I finally saw a copy of the Dynasty show, 1979 Dynasty show in Montreal, the first Kiss show I was at. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I blew $210 on that vinyl because I wanted it. I saw it cheaper later on, but I wanted it here. I wanted it now. I wanted to make sure that I got it because it's a memory of my experience, my first Kiss experience. I put that vinyl on. It sounded like garbage. Craig, you want to hear echo? Listen to that one. Oh my God. Because when you first put it on, you hear the crowd and go, oh my God, this is really clear. Yeah, it's really clear because someone has a recorder in the audience and it's recording Kiss God knows how far. And then the band comes on and goes, what the heck is that? It sounded awful.
Wow.
So all that to say, when I buy these vinyls, these Kiss bootlegs, it's cool to have as a collector. Like, oh, I've got my hands on this. Really cool. But in terms of sound, forget about it. Now, this one, I got excited listening to this one. I got into it. I was laying on my couch listening to it. I couldn't lay there for very long. I had to get up and move because it was just so invigorating and sounded fantastic. And my neighbors probably hated me that day because I was cranking it up. It was like being there. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, top marks for quality of sound. Absolutely.
Good. Well, I agree. To me, they did a fantastic job. Sound-wise, the treatment that they gave to the crowd with the mix, with the band, I think it's great. I still think that I would have liked to listen to Ace's guitar a little bit more upfront, a little bit more crisp there. But overall, I think it's great. I agree with Pat. I think that the band was on 4 cylinders that night. And I think that special lineup with Ace and Eric was working really well. So, if Ace had stayed there, man, the story could have been really different. So, I really liked, the product, the release. I'm happy with it. I can't wait, to get to the next one. Hopefully, as we said, Kiss is going to listen to the fans and release something, maybe, I don't know, in a different packaging or something, but the same sound quality or better. I wouldn't mind. So that's awesome. So that was an interesting topic, and I'm really happy that we could share, with the group here, Pat, Pask, and Craig. It's always awesome. So. Again, thank you very much, to our panel guests, Pat and Craig. We have some more discussion panels coming our way. So we will be glad to have you again with us. So we can wait.
Thanks for the invite.
I also want to say, to the Kiss fans out there, make yourself heard. You want something, say it, because I think the band is listening.
That's it. Exactly.
So, to said Kiss Army, thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And remember, never stop rocking. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
The Kiss Army Nation podcast has partnered up with Click T-Shop to offer our listeners a high-quality T-shirt with graphic design by Xander Graphics. Check out Click T-Shop at clickteeshop.com.